too. I recently got my finger stuck in a car door, so I ended up having to get stitches and everything. And the product that I used to actually seal it over was a skin innovator. So over time, it actually started healing a lot faster than what it would be without like actual medical grade stuff. So at least for me, it's like that kind of just goes to show like one product already kind of like had a lot of use in my life. And it's kind of I have to get the stitches out at some point, obviously, but that's something that I kind of liked about the products that we use, right? They're everyday products that you never know when you might need them, and this was an instance of that. Bad judgment on my friend's part, slammed the door on accident, hit my hand, so it happens. You can't really blame them for it, so it was an accident. But yeah, so like overall, I wanted to be a bit more, put a lot more emphasis on what Gcoop is and what their story is as a company, and how they have been doing social innovation to kind of help out their communities and help us be able to generate wealth and also proliferate the products that we have, because they're just so amazing, right? You get to see the day and night difference every day by using them. And so the good thing about Gcoop is that it has really strong values. With any good company is that they want to make sure that they're putting a lot of funding towards research and development to be a social enterprise. So what that means is making sure that they are also making a very good product, but how are they making those products, right? So with certain companies, they decide to make their products, but in countries that maybe aren't as well off, and they pay them pennies in comparison to the profit that they make overseas, right? What I really like about Gcoop is that they actually, put value into their employees. So General Bio, the mother company, they actually, employ their manufacturer workers to be working great wages that actually are livable, rather than with other companies like, Nike, for example, right? They pay a lot of like low-level workers for like pennies on the day sometimes to make their shoes, and they're selling them here for like hundreds of dollars, right? So in comparison, you can see that Gcoop has a very clean history, and it shows that it wants to make sure that those employees are valued, which I think is a really good concept to have for a company. And so what does Gcoop mean, right? Global cooperative. And so basically global meaning world's best research and development technologies that can ever be sourced around the entire globe. So that means like any type of top research development for our products are put into our products. So anything that we use has actually been painstakingly researched in order for us to be able to use it safely and for it to be approved in the US to be sold and to other nations, which is pretty amazing, right? We don't have to do any of that work. All that back work is up to the manufacturer. They get to actually do all that work for us. We get to benefit from it. And so cooperative is the second part to that, which we get to inherit that value and actually be a part of this social innovation that Gcoop does bring for us to be able to make money as well as feel good about the products that we're using because they're manufactured in an ethical way. A little bit about the company, right? Gcoop, it's the big corporation that currently is about the distribution process and the purchasing of products. Our website, gcoop.com, and the date established for Gcoop was July 1st, 2015. So as you can see, the distribution process is actually fairly new, right? So it's only been about 4 years. It's going to hit its 5th year in 2020 of July, but that's being said, that's like a lot of progress, I would say, in the last 5 years. Our CEO, Jung-Hoon So, he's one of the most intelligent people that I've ever met personally, and he's a very calm and collected man. Actually, when I was at the Las Vegas convention, just seeing him being very like stoic, but also being able to, present himself in a very well manner is pretty tough, especially with having people all around you, saying, hey, could I ask you about this? Being able to maintain that composure is very hard, and I can tell you that from experience, to be honest with you. And so for him to be able to show that and just be super cool as a cucumber, basically, that's something that I really value in an actual leader. And so that's something that I really see, and I want to be able to hopefully eventually get to that point one day, just like him, right? And so our parent company, General Bio, is what Jung-Hoon So really invested his life and his time into. He used to be an LG engineer, so he has a lot of background in terms of his education, and he's been able to make such great products with General Bio. And he's been accredited with a lot of awards that basically are gifted to him from the government of Korea, and also international recognized awards that actually prove that he's trying to push social innovation. And so what is a real leader, right? He's in the real leader top 100 ranks, right? That means that he actually shows impact in terms of all companies worldwide. So that's kind of crazy, right? To see that your actual CEO or the Gcoop CEO is actually one that is a part of that grouping. Getting these aren't really easy, right? You have to be able to, show that you have social innovation, or able to show leadership, and make sure those people do feel that. And so that you're actually, okay, yeah, like I actually feel like I want to go out and do stuff, right? And be a part of this social innovation company. A big thing too is company philosophy, right? So what Jung-Hun So's views and company philosophy is creating social value, economic achievements, and then a healthy network culture. So with creating social values, he wants to make sure that people feel that we're contributing to a bigger cause, not just for ourselves. And also creating a network, right? I wouldn't have met any of you guys, honestly, if it wasn't for Gcoop, to be honest with you, right? So that's kind of a beautiful thing in itself, that you're able to actually meet like-minded people just through products that actually do good for yourself, but also opens up your communication with new people that you would never have met otherwise. The big thing too is economic achievement. So being able to actually bring a form of wealth for us, and being able to sell these products and distribute these products without having any issues, right? So that economic achievement is for us to be able to benefit that. And then a healthy network culture. So making sure that we as people rely on each other as a team rather than individuals, because at the end of the day, no one can do one thing alone by themselves. It has to take a team in order to build something, in order to actually accommodate and accomplish something that's going to be great. And so we're going to go a little bit under the company history. So General Bio, the mother company, basically the manufacturing facility that makes all the Gcoop products, was established in 2007. At 2009, Venture Enterprise Certification was issued for Gcoop, which we'll go over in a little bit. And then also a Social Enterprise Certification, which is issued through the government of Korea. And then as we go forward, in 2015, General Bio actually was able to receive the B Corp certification. This certification is internationally recognized and shows basically a whole bunch of social innovation that Gcoop's able to do to manufacture the product, be in good governance, and it also is able to show that it is in the top 7 companies for having, let's say, a social innovative company. And we'll go a little bit more in depth of what that entails. And then in 2015, Gcoop was established. So this is where we kind of come in, right? We were able to be a part of this company in 2015. During that time, that was only in South Korea, and that's where we in the United States didn't get on board until about 2017. And in that first year alone, they actually made $30 billion in sales just in South Korea alone, which is pretty phenomenal, right? And then in 2017, we ended up getting the CGMP certification, which allowed us to have current goods manufactured process, which means that all our products are certified in terms of being able to be sold in the US. And it's also FDA approved. And also in 2017, that's when USA and the Taiwan market was able to open up so that we could actually have our products distributed there. And then in 2018, we exceeded sales of $84 billion up until that point, which is pretty phenomenal for the products that we get to sell and the value that we get to bring to people. And so this is a graph just showing our 2015, 2016, and 2017, all the way up to 2018. We haven't seen the fiscal year yet for 2019 yet. I think they're actually going to be coming up with the numbers for that here soon. I actually can't wait to see what that transition is, just to kind of see how much more growth the Gcoop is growing in these short amount of years, right? And so this is the Venture Enterprise Certification. So this one's only issued to companies that basically are able to make a product at a reasonable price, but highest quality. And then also being able to basically distribute these products and create leaders within the community, which is really tough to do. And so these get issued and are very standardized for testing for other companies within South Korea. And this is the Namwon campus. So Big thing about the manufacturing facilities, we kind of went over it already, but the current good process that we have for making our products is so good that this is the standardized testing and this actual certification doesn't come easy. Like not any company can have this. It has to be really well regulated and also very well maintained in order for us to be able to distribute these products to a lot of the people or within the markets that we have open. And then, but basically the NAM on Campus does have a lot of our educational facilities for, let's say, if you ever wanted to visit the facility, you can see how massive it is, and you can see the process from beginning to end, which is kind of cool, right? And then there's a social enterprise certification. So this certification is really good because it speaks to the soul of what people want, right? Being able to give back to the communities, be able to provide sustainable jobs for those people at General Bio. So this actually helped vitalize that local economy for people to be able to manufacture these goods, but to be able to provide them jobs. And a big thing, right, is that a lot of those employees that are employed over at the Namwon campus are either physically or mentally handicapped, a portion of them are, but that's where it's, General Bio is in that philanthropist mood where they want to see innovation, see change, where people can be employed without having to feel, indignified that, they have these disabilities and they can't feel like they can be employed anywhere else. So this is a really cool certification because it's something that not all companies have. Some companies are just in it for the wealth, and that's not always the best thing. That just shows that they want to use people and, get to the very top. This is something that shows that Gcoops in General Bio is all about giving to the community, making sure that we feel supported in that way and that we feel good about the products that they're making. B Corp certification. So this is the international one, and I think this is the most important one because actually a lot of companies have this. Not all companies though, but all the good ones, I say, right? Big one too is Ben & Jerry's has this, and I love their ice cream. Don't get me wrong, I love their cookies and core one. And so it just shows like the really top of the notch companies, they actually follow and abide by these rules. And the standardized testing, you basically have to go through for at least 2 months. So being able to keep your actual manufacturing process in this environmental activity, so being able to keep a great local, less than a lot of bad carbon footprint on the environment is really important, right? So, and then also making sure working conditions are good for your employees, as well as a good distribution structure as well. So that being able to actually distribute the products that we get, that's something that B Corp certification has to be a part of. So being able to receive those products at such a good, actual good amount of time is actually really important. And then community service activities, so making sure that they're giving back to the community and doing community service events, showing that they're investing money into charities. That's something that's very important for a company to do. It just shows that they're actually giving back to the community, right? And then a government's corporate structure, so making sure that they abide by local law and international laws. And so basically, these are the other certifications that we went over. So, making those healthy, good food products as well as skin products. So it's a standardized testing that makes sure that those quality products are made, but that are safe for the consumers to use. So there's never any malignant process in terms of making these products. And then we also got the excellent corporation research and development. So a lot of people, whenever you do introduce Gcoop, I feel, sometimes they feel as if like, okay, how can we for sure know that these are researched and developed in a way, right? This just shows that we actually have a lot of 40,000 affiliated research institutes that were selected from all over the world to be able to bring this product together, right? So it's not just something that we're just saying off the top of our heads, it's actually something that's been done by General Bio to make these products the top notch as they can possibly be in terms of their scientific upbringing and being able to distribute that in a way that isn't harmful to us at all. And that's very important to note, actually. And then there's the KRIBB, so that's the Korea Research Institute for Bioscience and Biotechnology. It is within South Korea, showing that they have done the research and they're willing to put their certification on that in order for us to sell these actual products. And it's been highly, highly researched and developed. And so this is a Carousella brand shop, right? So the Carousella brand shops are basically kind of like a franchisee kind of location where you can purchase into. And it's a very clean and sleek kind of shop that you can own. Normally they're about $50,000. But what's really cool about them is that you're able to actually have a location to show off these Carousella products. And a big thing too is being an example overall, right? So we have a lot of our high school socioeconomic workbooks over in South Korea that actually reference Gcoop as a social innovative company that's able to actually prove that Gcoop is doing great things, and they're willing to teach it to other people about how Gcoop is making a difference in terms of social innovation. And then so these are a little bit about the campuses. So these are the educational facilities if you want to know about Gcoop, right? In South Korea there's so many, and then in the United States we have about 3, and then 2 in Taiwan, and we have 1, I believe, is that, my geography is terrible. Does anyone know what country that is? Japan, correct. My apologies. I just need to make sure. But yeah, in Japan as well. And so just seeing how many different types of campuses that are out there, it just shows that there's a lot of potential growth for Gcoop in these other nations, right? And in South Korea, it just shows that there's actually a lot of people that have or have experienced the product. And so seeing this kind of is, in a word, it just shows how it's in an infancy it is, and how much more growth there's going to be in the next couple years. So 2020 is going to be that year that we're going to see, hopefully, things going way up, honestly, in my opinion. The reason why I say that is just because there's so many more markets opening up. People are going to be talking to each other, word of mouth. It's going to be kind of cool, right? So I can't wait to be a part of it, and I'm glad that you guys are a part of this as well. And so overall, just kind of wrapping up everything that we talked about, General Bio being a great manufacturer, being able to make the products that we use today, and being able to do all that research and development that we don't have to worry about for our products is a really amazing thing for any type of company to do. And then for us to be a part of the distribution process where we get to experience the products, at the same time pass that along to our friends, family, anyone that we know, that makes it so that we can actually use the company in a way that benefits us to generate wealth, also to generate our good health through these products. Whether that be through skincare, through diet, through household items, anything that we use, that's something that's really cool about Gcoop. And it creates a stable price and product policy, which is really nice. All right, guys.